So as you boys know, we've had two main events. I'm not gonna say ruined. Well, the Song Yadong Henry Cejudo main event was completely ruined via eye poke. You know what I'm saying? But the Kepe Alamanamidov fight was not ruined via eye poke. And Kepe was gonna win that regardless. That was just dominance. So Henry Cejudo tweeted this. He tweeted out, "Eye pokes are the greatest threat to the growth of the sport, unbiased. Because he got poked in the eye." But I pulled up the rules. The E-Rock pulled up the MMA rules. We're gonna go over them. We're gonna figure out how to fix this problem where everybody's poking each other in the eye. You have John Jones. Where is it? You have John Jones.
And it's very illegal, but I do it. It's like if someone's coming at me, I'll just put my hand on their forehead. And a lot
He'll put his hand on their
of times they
forehead.
end up missing the punch that was intended for my face.
If they're missing the punch, if his hand is on your forehead and you throw a punch because you're moving your body, his fingers go in your eyes. It's strategic. It's strategic. So I pulled up the UFC rulebook. This is the UFC rulebook. You can get this from the literal UFC website. I just typed in UFC rules on Google, took me to like a UFC page, and then this is the PDF that came on my computer. No Diddy. So headbutts is rule number one. I Okay. Now let's get a few things straight. The rules when you get into the octagon, right? The referee says to you, protect yourself at all times. Okay. Now, UFC stands for Ultimate Fighting Championship. I feel like we could take away 90% of these rules. This is what we're going to go over today. I think we could take out 90% of these, and we will get better sales, better pay-per-views. And listen, the referee doesn't have to do a job. Who wants the ref to step into the fight and do anything? We just want them to fight. We don't want you to do anything besides when the round's over, break them apart and send them back at each other when the round, begins. If we have less rules, there would be better fights. Is essentially what I'm saying. So, we had the Henry Cejudo eye poke, right? Where Song Yadong is whooping his ass, and Henry's getting finger banged in the eye. As Mighty Mouse says, if Henry's eyeballs were a vagina and Song's fingers were a penis, Henry would be pregnant, and he would be pregnant with twins by the looks of it. You know what I'm saying? Headbutting is rule number one. I think we can get rid of this. If somebody is close enough to you to headbutt you, you're not that good of a fighter. If you're getting headbutt in a scramble, the referee doesn't stop it anyway, right? Because it's an accidental headbutt. I've seen like 3 fights get stopped from accidental headbutts, and 1,000 fights where people get literal cut from accidental headbutts, and the fight just keeps going, and the ref doesn't really stop it. Shout out to Herb Dean. You know what I'm saying? Now we're gonna go to eye gouging, right? Which is a touchy topic. A touchy topic. John Jones is famous for poking people in the eye. He's getting people pregnant. We're not gonna talk about pregnant people and John Jones in the same sentence. You know, okay, all right, okay. So I think that this should be allowed. Okay, if I could poke you in your eye, if somebody is pointing their finger, if they're extending their fingers to your eyeball, I'm gonna teach you guys. I'm gonna teach these people in the octagon a trick because there's a fucking issue. Okay, if somebody is extending their fingers towards your orifices, you can back away. You can also throw a kick. Okay, if your hands can't reach somebody, your feet will. That's a Fendi fact. Your feet are longer than your legs are long. Your feet aren't longer than your arms. Your legs are longer than your arms. You can kick something that's a little bit further away than you could punch something. Okay, so if somebody's sitting here, they're trying to poke you in your orifices. Kick the hand. Break the fingers. Okay, talking to the small joint manipulations on here. Allow small joint manipulation. I want to see toe holds. I do want to see toe holds. Fish hooking. That would be great. I promise you, we will not see the Dagestanis being so dominant if you could fish hook them. If they're on top of you, Or if you're just in a grappling exchange with them and you could fish hook one of these Dagestanis, fucking rip the inside of their mouth open. They're not gonna want to get on the ground with you. They're gonna have to strike with you. You could be the fish hook master. Fish hooking should be allowed. Okay, we just got rid of 4 rules. Oh no, hold on. We skipped number 3, my favorite rule. Well, one of my favorite rules. Biting or spitting at an opponent is illegal. Spitting and biting should not be illegal. They should not be illegal. And biting, okay? Listen, you have a mouthpiece on, so your bite is already nerfed. There's a clip of Dustin Poirier talking about how when Michael Chandler was putting his fingers in his mouth, he was biting on his hands and he was trying to, take his fingers off. If somebody puts their fingers in my mouth, I'm going to bite them off. This is the Ultimate Fighting Championship. I want to know who's the best fighter in the world, not who's the best fighter within a specific rule set. Like how they kind of sell this sport is who walks into a room. If you put what Dana White always says, if you put 2 dudes in a room, who's going to walk out? That's not what this is, right? Because if I'm in a grappling exchange with somebody and I could bite them, you're gonna get fucking bit. I promise you, I will bite you. I will 100% bite you. If I can spit at you, and this is a fight, I might be able to blind you with the spit. You never know. You see how grappling became so dominant? Spitting might be hella dominant. I want to know what's the best method to whoop somebody's ass. On to the next. Hair pulling. Obviously, hair pulling should be legal. Okay? Yuri with his palm I'm a huge Yuri fan with the huge with the Yuri hair. Fuck, you could swing him around with it. He wouldn't be that dominant if hair pulling would be a thing. Same thing with fuck, what's that dude's name? I can't think of it. The super long haired dude who ran and jumped on the cage and kicked somebody. Oh man, what disrespect for me for not knowing his name. Hair pulling should be legal. Pile driving is illegal. Then Bilal should be completely fucking suspended. Bilal picked Leon up and pile drives him. I thought he was gonna get paralyzed, bro, when I saw that. That was fucked up. Bilal, that was fucked up. You shouldn't have did that, bro. Pile driving is illegal. Strikes to the spine or back of the head. Okay. This I kind of get, right? Because if they're obviously like, if you George Masvidal somebody, if you Ben Askren somebody, if you run and jumping knee them and they're like fucking stunned on the ground, like 2 seconds away from having a seizure, you should not do follow-up strikes. I understand the ref should stop you, but like, don't punch him in the back of the head. But if you're in a squabble and the dude, if we agree to mutual combat and for some reason you decide to turn around, I'm not gonna not punch you in the back of the head. I'm gonna punch you in the back. I'm gonna punch you wherever I just said I was gonna bite you. Wow. Okay. You know what I'm saying? The spines includes the tailbone. That's okay. What the fuck? Like so many weird rules. Throw punches is not allowed. Why aren't people abusing the throat punch technique? Okay, a lot of people are abusing the eye poke, the orifice touch. Nobody's abusing the throat strike. Throat strike should be allowed. Fingers outstretched towards an opponent's face and eye poking. 12-6. This got removed. I'm guessing this is outdated. UFC, figure it out. This is a billion-dollar company, boys. Fix this. Groin attacks of any kind. All right. If you're allowed to wear a cup, you should be allowed to strike somebody in the groin. You're wearing a cup, so I should be allowed to make the mistake. I don't have shoes on. I should be allowed to make the mistake of kicking you in your groin, and I break a toe, or I break like the knuckle on my foot. If you're allowed to wear a metal cup, like the Muay Thai cups that they're all fucking talking about, why can't I kick you in the balls? It's not gonna hurt you. Okay, all right. Kneeing or kicking the head of a ground opponent. allow this because again the Dagestanis and then Aljamain Sterling, he'll just sit there with knees on the ground, one hand on the ground. If I could just like back up a second and field goal kick you. You're this is not going to be the method anymore. People are going to want to stand up. Let's keep the fight. And then this was, I don't understand. A lot of people like stand up fights, but then you have people abusing the rules, and then you don't change the rules. I'm not asking for more rules. I'm not even asking you to enforce said rules. Get the guys in the octagon. The referee should literally only be there to signal them when the round is over and when the round begins. And that's, or if, like, the lights come off or something, like, just tell them to stop or whatever. Stomping of a grounded fighter. This should be fucking legal. This should be absolutely legal. If you are on the ground and I get to stand up before you get to stand up, and then I'm standing over you and you still have not stood up, you are not the ultimate fighter. I'm going to kick you. And the referee should stop it anyway if I'm standing over you and you decide to not protect yourself at all times. Holding opponent's gloves or shorts, this should be fucking legal. Or, okay, I was gonna say make them wear like boxer briefs where it's like skin tight and you can't really grab it, but you would still be able to grab it. People grab clothes in fights all the time. This should be fucking legal. I don't understand. Holding or grabbing the fence or ropes with fingers or toes. If you don't want them to use the octagon, why are they in the octagon? They don't have the backboard on the basketball for you not to hit it. You don't get extra points for hitting it, but it's there to assist you in scoring the basket. The octagon should be there to assist you in getting up and not going out of bounds into the fucking crowd. Now, if you don't want them to use something to get back up, make it a pit. Make them fight empty out a fucking swimming pool and drop them in there if you don't want them to use something to get back up. Or Joe Rogan said, make them fight in a fucking field. But who wants to? I don't want to see them fight in a field. It's gonna be on fucking drone footage, bro. It's gonna be an Amish country. Small joint manipulation, please, bro. Toe holds, toe holds. If you have me in a guillotine, you have me in a guillotine like this, right? You have me like this. My hand is free. I'm gonna grab your pinky and I'm gonna have you in the pinky hold. Now the issue with small joint manipulation is like there's no, so like with like an arm bar or a knee bar or whatever, you could like pressure it out like, hey, I'm about to break your arm. I'm about to break your arm. You need to tap, and then like the guy doesn't tap. Now I'm gonna break your arm. With small joints, it's like you don't feel it. You don't feel it. Boom! It's off. It's like you've ever seen the frostbite. The Frostbite movie the Frostbite movies. They showed the soldiers back in the day where like the fingers or the toes were black and they would snap them off like pew, snap them off. Throwing an opponent out of the cage. Throwing an opponent out of the cage is illegal. To make this legal, that should be an instant win. That should be an instant shot at the title. If I could pick my opponent up and launch him over onto Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier onto their laps, I should instantly get a shot at Marab or instantly get a shot at whoever at Islam. I should instantly get a shot at the fucking title. That is insane. They are limited. The UFC is limiting their sales with these rules. Clawing, pinching, twisting of the flesh. See, this could be interpreted in so many different ways because a punch twists the flesh. Anything you do technically twists the flesh. So this rule should already automatically be out just off of weird legal jargon verbiage. This isn't legally sound. I'm not even a lawyer and I would be able to tear this shit up. I really would. Anything is technically twisting the flesh. Same thing with pinching or clawing, right? If my hand is ashy, it's going to claw. Like, look at the marks it's making. I'm clawing at my flesh. Get this rule out of here. Timidity. Okay, keep this in. Avoiding contact. This is the one rule I agree with. Timidity. This is rule number 1. Do not be timidive. Don't be timid. Rule 21. Use of abusive language in the fighting arena. Do not be disrespectful. Do not say damn. No curse words. Nuh-uh. Now, if you want to separate his retina, go right. If you want to give him a seizure, if you want to see a man with a brain aneurysm in front of his family, if you want to tune in and watch somebody's dreams and hopes that they left their family behind for months and months and months so they could train and use all their money up on this specific dream, and then they lose on the first fight of the prelims, do not say a bad word in this arena. Do not. That is against Rule 21. You will get fined. No cap. Rule 22. Flagrant disregard of the referee's instructions. The referee should have no instructions. Get this rule the fuck out of here. Unsportsmanlike conduct that causes to injury. I actually have to read the description for this one because what does that mean? Every athlete competing in the sport of MMA is expected to represent the sport in a positive light, emphasizing sportsmanship and humility. Any athlete that disrespects the rules of the sport or attempts to inflict unnecessary harm on a competitor who has been either taken out of the competition by the referee or has tapped out of the competition shall be viewed. Okay, so that means like once the fight's over, you can't give the fans an encore. Now, would you pay extra for a ticket, a concert ticket, if there was even the slightest chance that your band would run it back and replay your favorite song? But with fighting, it's crazy because I could knock you out and then we could fight again and you might be able to knock me out. And now, hey, we're 1 for 1. Run it back 3 months from now on pay-per-view. The UFC is limiting their sales, okay? Attacking opponent on or during break. Now, that's what security's for. If security can't stop them, then why is security even in the ring? That should be a test for your security. Get that rule out. So far we've only agreed with one rule. Timid. No timidness in the octagon, please. Attacking an opponent who is under care of the referee, I'll give them that. If the referee is consoling you, let the guy be. Interference from a mixed martial artist, corner or seconds. Interference is defined as any action or activity aimed at disrupting the fight or causing an unfair advantage to be given to one combatant. Corners are not allowed to distract the referee. Oh, so this is like you're trying to game the system, get a little bit more time. I mean, all right. There's like 3 rules they should keep, okay? The rest are complete bullshit. The rest is absolutely bullshit. I promise you, if you get rid of all these rules and there was like a no rule, this was a no holds bar thing. This was like a can eye poke you. You signed a death waiver to come in here. You know, for number one, the sales would go up. The sales would go absolutely bananas. Now, the problem is your talent, the shelf life is done. But the sport would be so popular that it kind of wouldn't matter. The talent would just like roll the fuck in. It would be kind of lit. I'm saying we get rid of all. I'm saying we get rid of everything. I say we get rid of everything, or maybe we do like a Hammurabi's code kind of thing. Like let's say if we're fighting and you poke me in the eye, the referee stops the action. Stop. You now poke him in the eye. Now I get to poke you in the eye. I get to poke you in the eye. You kick me in the balls on accident. I get to kick you in the balls, and now we resume. I don't know. I'm spitballing. Anyways, boys, Alex Pereira fights fucking some bum later this week, and so does Justin Gaethje. He fights Fiziev. He's gonna do like 1,000 spins and then get knocked the fuck out. All right, boys. I'll catch you boys in a little bit. Peace out.